the audience won't be able to hear the music you're playing right now.
No.
You're playing like elevator music. Or well, I don't even know what that is. It's like Japanese grocery store music. It's like the really chill, relaxed music that would play at the end of a happy Godzilla film around the 70s. Or it's like slice of life anime music from like 1991. It's the music that plays when nothing violent is happening in like Dragon Ball. And you're still playing. Okay, is it stopped? Is it over? Are we free from this hell? This is why we took a break, David. Man, alright, we're back, everyone, after all this time. They hate us because they ain't us. And also because we went on hiatus. But anyway, I've been working very hard, and I'm doing the job that I was given.
Where are you? Are you doing okay?
I'm okay. Don't go looking for me.
Is it like that thing where Fan Bingbing, the Chinese actress who was the portal lady in X-Men Days of Future Past, was arrested because of tax evasion, and now she had to
she was kept in a Chinese prison,
and then she had to apologize to the Chinese government and pay like $80 million in back taxes.
China is fucking scary. Like, I don't think we talk about it enough as a country, but like China is a spooky place. 'Cause like, don't they? I can't remember. Don't they like just like execute people who are charged with like drug trafficking or sale?
That's
like,
the Philippines.
Okay, the Philippines. Yeah, I was pretty sure I saw a documentary once about Hong Kong, where it was about some guy getting like caught with like meth in his car, and then getting sentenced to being executed.
That's the Philippines.
Well, I know someone from there that I could ask.
So, the guy who directed the Raid movies?
Yeah?
He's got a new movie out.
He was gonna direct Deathstroke, and then DC didn't know what they were doing, so they were like, fuck it, let's not make that one. Which they've done with like 20 movies.
He's got a new movie out for Netflix.
What's it called?
Apostle.
Does it have the same kind of action sequences?
It's a horror movie.
Oh.
About
a guy who uses kung fu to kill people?
No, it's about that guy from Legion going to a remote island where his sister has been kidnapped by a mysterious religious cult.
So, like, kind of like the Wicker Man?
Yes.
Wait, which guy from Legion? Is it Legion himself or some other guy?
Legion himself, Dan Stephens.
That guy's a cool actor. I like him and stuff. He was also in Colossal, where he played a asshole boyfriend.
Well, he came back at the end.
Like, oh, yeah.
Compared to the other asshole boyfriend in that movie, he's comparatively a decent guy.
Oh, well, because he came back in the end. Also, the reason he was an asshole is because his girlfriend was more of an asshole, and he was just, like, tired of it. It was justifiable assholery. And also, Colossal is a good movie. You should check it out if you like kaiju shit, and also indie movies from, like, 1990. What is this music you're playing now?
It's called Sounds for the Supermarket.
It sounds... It's driving me insane. It's like someone is, like, deep-throating a slide whistle. That ain't no flute. That's a crime against humanity is what you're playing. I don't want to go into any supermarket that's playing that shit. Oh my god, are you playing the trailer for... What
Apostle?
Is this?
Yeah.
Oh man, of course. They named the character Thomas. Because what else do you name an old-timey guy?
Played by Dan Stevens, who was in Downton Abbey.
He was also in Beauty and the Beast, and he played Emma Watson in that film. He did a great job. Yeah, yeah.
Belle.
Shit, I thought he couldn't pull off that performance, but you know what? He proved me wrong.
Let's be honest. He is beautiful enough to play Belle.
He's actually a quite attractive man.
And I think it was a daring decision of the filmmakers to gender bend the whole thing.
Oh yeah,
female Beast. And really, it wasn't like a really lifeless, uncreative remake of the original at all.
No.
It wasn't completely.
It wasn't just
pointless,
a point for point, like shot for shot remake, but in live action.
but stupider.
I took a girl on a date to see that movie. Suffice to say, I did not call her back. You know, I think I was trying to push to go see some horror movie that day. Because, like, she was a really gothy girl who had all kinds of tattoos and, like wore black makeup all the time. And had dyed her hair black. Like, she just looked so, like, you know, edgy and, like, kind of emo girl. And I was like, hey, you want to go see this horror movie this weekend or whatever? Or
As
I
I
can't
recall, it was Life.
I think so.
Ryan Reynolds and Rachel McAdams.
It was either that or some other movie that came out that around that time. But then she was like, actually, I really wanted to see Beauty and the Beast because I really like Disney films. And then I looked closer at her tattoos, and they were of Disney characters. And I was like, wait a minute. That's Winnie the Pooh. That's not a skull. You're not punk. You're just monochromatic Disney girl. Oh, I bet she had a horse phase. She's one of those girls.
I'm not like other girls.
I'm not like other girls. I like horses.
Which, of course, no other girl likes.
No other girl has ever gone through a horse phase. My cousin had the worst horse phase of any girl I ever knew. Because at one point she just fucking owned a horse.
So what is the male equivalent to a horse girl?
Probably a car guy. You know? Like, it starts out when they're young and they just have this fucking weird-ass obsession with, like, Hot Wheels. Like, don't get me wrong. I had plenty of Hot Wheels tracks. I was playing with those all day. But, like, I wasn't, like...
Sexually aroused by them?
No. I wasn't, like...
You were only sexually aroused by the bulging muscular Venom in your room.
I have so many action figures of Venom with his bulging muscles. Hey, Venom came out.
I haven't seen it.
It's pretty good, surprisingly, and kind of upsettingly, because...
shut up. You liked Alien Covenant.
Okay. I think Alien Covenant has some severe problems, but it's still watchable. I would say Venom is better than Alien Covenant because, like...
Question.
Okay.
Guilty pleasure movie that came out in the last few years.
I don't even consider Venom like a guilty pleasure. Like, I don't... Like, there's nothing really that bad about it that makes me not like it.
Guilty pleasure movie. What was it that you had the last few years?
Okay, alright. God, I'm trying to think. You're really putting me on the spot here. I didn't enjoy any of the last couple Transformers movies. I know those are the kind of, like, the go-to for that genre. Fuck. I'm having a really hard time picking. You know, the music, I was starting to hate it at first. Like, Sounds for Supermarket 6, 1975 grocery store music, is what he's playing right now. I was mad about it at first, but it's actually kind of soothing, and I feel like it helps the conversation flow a little better if we have, like, a rhythm. And I kind of want him to not stop playing it now. Can you, like, leave it in the video? Can you record some of this grocery store music and then have it in the video in the background?
It's possible, but copyright, so...
Well, okay, who's gonna copyright sounds for the grocery store in
You
1975?
would be surprised.
Who the fuck cares?
You would be surprised.
Oh my god, there's probably some company who's just trying to scrape like 3 cents off of that.
Exactly.
It's probably owned by it's probably owned by some really surprising company too that doesn't make sense. Like it's you play it in the background of our podcast, and you get a copyright from like Paramount Pictures, and you're like, what the fuck, really? Them? Why do they own that?
No, I think it would be more interesting if you got a copyright strike from Kroger's. Or like,
I wish Kroger's would stop emailing me all the fucking time, because I tried to get a job at a grocery store once, and then, like, it didn't work, but they still go, Kroger, job notifications, and then,
you know, you can unsubscribe from that.
I thought I did, but then I still kept getting them anyway, and it's also on my alternate email, so I don't really check it that often. But every time I open it up, it's just, like, 60 new messages from Kroger, and I'm like, why? Why? Why are you like this? I'm gonna not buy any more products from Kroger. That's it. That's my new mandate. In addition to no longer purchasing any Marvel Comics event story ever, no matter what it is, I'm also going to not eat anything from Kroger. I suppose I'm gonna not eat anything at all if they don't let me out of this fucking bathroom at some point.
So at least you have a toilet and a shower, right?
No, there's no toilet. There's just a hole in the floor. There's no toilet.
Well, it's not a bathroom then.
Well, it has a bathtub and a sink, but I don't know if they work. And there's no shower head. Also, the walls are really chipped up and gross in here. I'm surprised I don't wake up in the middle of the night covered in cockroaches.
Be careful what you wish for.
Oh, God. No, they're called the arachnid conglomerate, not the cockroach conglomerate. The cockgon is what they would call themselves for short, instead of the conglomerate. Well, you're just playing this Muzak, M-U-Z-A-K, Muzak.
Muzak is actually a genre.
I
It's
was
called
not aware.
easy listening. That's literally what this is.
Can you I want you to figure out which of these is like not copywritten and then put it in the back of the video, because it's actually kind of fun. I feel like it'll fill some of our dead space a little better. Hey-o! Segways! Nailed it.
Catch us next weekend where we stream some Dead Space.
We're gonna stream some Dead Spouse.
On my channel.
On what day?
I don't know.
Can we try for Saturday?
Maybe.
I have to be on some kind of Spider-Man themed Jeopardy on Sunday. I have a feeling I'll do better than you'd hope,
Are the
not as well as you'd
arachnid
expect.
conglomerate forcing you to do this?
It's more like
Are
they
they
kind of
gonna-
permit it. They let me do like whatever I want as long as it's Spider-Man related.
What about Spider-Woman related?
I haven't asked.
Why won't you?
Because I'm afraid, because they have this fucking lead pipe that they sometimes threaten to hit me with.
Why? That's just cruel. I think that to the pipe. I mean,
Oh, come on, man.
pipe rights deserve.
I would be
rights
more
too.
concerned when you were kidnapped, which will probably happen at some point.
Who would I be kidnapped by?
I don't know. You ever been to, like, Detroit, Michigan? It's like you could, like, go down any random alley and get kidnapped. I think Brandon's from there. I know for a fact he isn't, but I still think it's funnier to pretend that he is. Are you skipping ahead through the music? Because I feel like it keeps starting over. What are you doing? Will you... Stop it. Just leave. Just let it play. Stop hitting the button to make it go further forward. Oh, for fuck's sake. He's just pressing some button to make it rewind like 6 seconds and then go forward 6 seconds. He's ruining my flow here. This music is the most soothing thing I've heard in, God, I don't know, 16 days? Is that when I was taken? The guards escort me down to some, like, kitchen area downstairs. Occasionally. They all wear masks. I don't know what they look like. They don't speak much. I feel like maybe there's someone that I know, and if I heard their voice, I'd be able to know who they are.
There's a reason why the guards don't speak around you. Because they all know you. I know some of the guards.
I know that they have chips and soda downstairs. They have so much Dr. Pepper downstairs, all of them. I don't know why. Like, they just have cases and cases of it.
It's part
and
of
they
the
won't let me
torture.
have any of it.
Exactly, that's part of the torture. Is that they keep having it so that you can smell all the Dr.
All I get
Pepper.
is the bread and the water.
And you can smell the Dr. Pepper, and you can hear them drinking it. And you can hear them going, ah, that's some good Dr. Pepper.
Oh, God.
So I heard you saw a movie recently. What did you think of A Star is Born?
I didn't see that. Did you?
No, I just think you did.
Why would you think that I saw that?
Because I think you did.
Why do you sound like you're accusing me now?
Because you deserve it.
Are you one of them? Is this just part of the thing? Is like you're the arachnid conglomerate, and it was just a ploy to get me to start recording the podcast again to capture me?
Well, let's just say, put it this way. I'm not part of the arachnid conglomerate, but I know them, and I gave them my go-ahead.
So you're not like a member.
Yeah.
But you don't have any problems with the people who are.
Exactly.
That's some really smooth jazz you got playing. Some really smooth jazz. Did you hear about that Venom burger that they make?
Where's that?
I can't remember. I just know I know that they made a cheeseburger that looks like Venom. I'm gonna send you a picture of it. God, this
Why?
laptop
Why would they
is
do
garbage.
that to you?
Why would they let me edit on a laptop that's from like 2010? It's a fucking red Acer laptop.
Maybe because they hate you. That's why.
Well, you know, it would make my thing that I have to do go a little faster if I had better equipment, guys. Okay, I'm sorry. Ah! Alright, sorry. Yeah, they didn't like that.
That is the most disgusting looking burger I've ever seen in my life.
They knocked a bunch of shit off of the sink.
Can I just, like, not?
Can you just not eat that burger?
Well, I wasn't going to anyway.
No, you don't eat anything that isn't made of tofu.
No, you.
No, you tofu?
No tofu, you.
So anyway, Telltale Games closed down. I believe today is actually the 10th anniversary. Well, not 10th. 5th anniversary. No, okay, yeah, it was like Telltale's like almost 20th anniversary as a company, but a couple weeks ago. But the 5th anniversary of The Wolf Among Us.
Cool.
Which I will still defend to the death is the best Telltale video game. And
What does it say about me that I only spent like less than an hour playing that game and then I gave up and didn't care?
I mean, can you name one video game you haven't done that with?
Let me pull up my Steam page.
Like, just, like, name off a bunch of games you've, like, played beginning to end and actually beaten. While you do that, I'm just gonna say that, I'm really sad that Telltale went under. I'm sad to find out that they apparently didn't pay any of their employees. I wish I could get paid for what I'm doing. Okay, alright, sorry. Okay, but anyway.
You know what they say when they say wage slavery? That's what you are.
There's no wages. It's just slavery. I'm surprised they haven't chained me to this fucking pipe sticking out of the ground.
So, I'll go down. Let's see. Alien Isolation, I played 2 hours of.
You didn't beat Alien Isolation. You played 2 hours of it, which, considering that game, you might have just barely seen the alien for the first time.
Yep. I think I got pretty close to finishing Batman Arkham Origins. Bioshock I played.
Arkham
Bioshock
Origins
Infinite.
is kind of boring. Bioshock Infinite was poop.
City Skylines is pretty open-ended, but since I put over 100 hours into it, I think we can say I pretty much finished that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah.
I finished Doki Doki Literature Club.
We
65
streamed
hours
that.
in Skyrim. I think we can say I finished that pretty good.
Did you beat the main quest in Skyrim?
I don't remember, honestly. I've got over 100 hours in Fallout New Vegas, so yes with that.
New Vegas is apparently the best Fallout game.
It is.
I've
almost played 200 hours of Galactic
It's so weird. I've only played like the first like 10 minutes of New Vegas and then got bored and turned it off, but I've played like all of Fallout 3 multiple times, knowing full well that it's way worse.
You idiot.
I'm sorry.
Lego Batman 2 and Lego Batman, and then Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga I got pretty close to 100%ing.
Lego Batman 3 is the best one. Because it's basically not a Batman game, it's a Justice League game that just heavily features Batman.
I finished Portal 1 and Portal 2. I've finished Roller Coaster Tycoon 2.
I don't know if anyone else agrees with me on this. Okay, can I ask you a question?
Sins of Solar Empire Rebellion.
Can I ask you a question?
What?
Was Lego Batman 1 annoying as fuck because you had to keep switching out into dumb alternate costumes for Batman because they wrote themselves into a corner and couldn't give you a video game that allowed you to play as a lot of different characters?
Not really.
I remember as a little kid, I was so pissed off because I didn't want to be Batman with magnet boots or Robin with fucking a diving suit. I wanted to just be Batman and Robin.
You don't know what the perfect one is, though? Perfect Lego Batman game is?
Yeah?
2.
Lego Batman 2? You know what? I have it. I don't think I've beaten it.
It's good. I've beaten it.
Isn't it kind of like the precursor to Lego Marvel where you can actually explore around Gotham?
Kinda, yeah.
I think I played like the first mission of it and then got bored and then went back to playing Lego Batman 3. Scrubs animate?
Sounds like a loser. He listens to these, doesn't he?
Maybe. I could ask him.
Well, if he does, then he'll hear this, and I want him to hear this.
That you called him a loser?
Yes.
Don't push him. He's gonna edit a really, really impressive 3D animation of you getting, like, railed by Captain Kirk.
Cool.
Damn it, I was hoping I could say something that would, like scare you off, but I think that just got you more excited to mess with him.
I like messing with people.
Messing with Sasquatch?
Him too.
What a weird ad campaign.
What a weird ad campaign for what?
For the beef jerkies, where they just would find Sasquatch out in the woods and then just harass him.
So here's how much of Wolf
and then
Among Us
suffer
I've played.
Instant consequences.
Exactly 73 minutes.
$73.
Uh-huh. And I've put, like, on my Steam account, I've put into 60 hours into Star Trek Online, and if you add that in with my non-Steam play of that, it's probably, like, close to 200 hours.
I miss Wolf Among Us. It was really good.
No, you.
It was, you know what? I think the reason that the Walking Dead Telltale games started to kind of fall off a little in quality is because The Walking Dead is a premise that lends itself well to a short story and not a very long one. Like Robert Kirkman initially was like, the reason I wanted to do a long-form zombie story is because they always kind of cut them short. It's always like a one-off movie about this group of survivors, or it always like has them all die at the end or something. And he's like, I wanted to like see like the day-to-day operations and continuing adventures of a group of survivors in a zombie apocalypse. But then I figured out that I think he might have too, and is too ashamed to admit it, is that there's a reason why zombie apocalypse stories usually don't last super long. Mm-hmm. And why the whole idea doesn't lend itself well to an extremely long story. Because we're on,
what are you talking about it? I'm totally excited for Season 9 of Walking Dead.
Do you know who's not? The fucking lead actor who's leaving the show. Because he's so tired of it. He says he wanted to go back to England to be with his family, but I think that's code for I'm sick of being stuck on this fucking TV show that's, like, not very good. It's, like, hurting my career now because it's not as popular as it was in 2011.
Did you know that Frank Darabont is still suing AMC for that show?
Did you read his emails?
No.
Okay, for those who don't know, Frank Darabont was the showrunner for Walking Dead during Season 1. He had a lot of really ambitious and crazy ideas.
Well, he's alleging, like, unpaid, like, royalties and everything.
Well, okay, so it's a complicated situation, because, like, he brought in a whole bunch of his, like, personal friends that are actors to have them, like, as the cast of the show. Like actors that were in his previous works, like The Fog. Like, it was all people he was used to working with on the cast. He had a lot of new ideas that he worked into the show because he thought, like, the idea was good but could be better. So he added, like, this really explosive, like, epic action-y climax to the first season that actually made it really interesting and cool, and kind of, you know, put the scope of the zombie epidemic into a little bit more clearer terms.
So he and his agents have filed the lawsuit against AMC seeking more than $280 million in unpaid profits.
Now, there's two sides of the story. Is that some people on his side, like that fucking vampire guy from Being Human, who's, I guess, one of his friends. You know, Starkiller, that's his name. He was like, AMC fired him because he had too many ambitious ideas that were too expensive.
Over budget.
Yeah, well, because, like, they filmed in the middle of Atlanta. Like, a whole, like, 6 blocks were cordoned off to just film fucking zombie, like, aerial shots. For, like, multiple episodes straight, and it didn't even look like a TV show, it looked like a movie, and it was awesome. So people on his side are just like, well, he went over budget, and they would rather hire someone else to run the show who could just, like, do lame shit, like have them be on a farm for 12 episodes, even though it was only, like, 10 pages worth of the comic that they were there, which was wonderful. But his emails came out to, like, AMC people a couple years ago. And they were pretty gruesome and horrendous. Like, he was, like accusing other people on staff of being mentally handicapped because they weren't following his directions. He was using some very slurish terms. He was very rude, kind of sounded like an insane person, and then like started screaming about how he wanted multiple people fired because he didn't think their script for a certain episode was good enough, and then he went back and rewrote it himself. Like, just really unprofessional behavior. So then they fired him and then filmed the next 12 episodes of just people sitting around on a farm doing literally nothing. In fact, the show got so cheap in season 2 that they didn't even want to film at night on some days, so they just put a slightly blue filter on scenes that they shot in the daytime, and you can still see the reflection of the sun off of the fucking cars. It was insane. But anyway, Walking Dead sucks, and I feel bad for all of the really talented actors that are on that show who are stuck under contract, because it would probably be better for them and their careers as actors if they could move on to bigger and better things. I want Norman Reedus to play Ghost Rider in something.
Like Death Stranding?
Oh yeah, Death Stranding is so cool! That's like one of my like top 3 most excited for things coming up in the next like year. I don't know what the other 2 are, so I guess it's actually top 1. I'm not really excited for much anymore. I'm excited for leaving this fucking warehouse. I think it is.
Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, X-Men Dark Phoenix. You know what?
You want to know a thing that I'm excited for?
What?
Okay, so I've been following these, like, the news out of film festivals, and there's this sci-fi movie called High Life that's written and directed by a French woman, and it looks really interesting, and you can tell that it's written and directed by a French woman.
I'm wondering how you can, like, just tell by watching it.
Well, here's the thing. It says, it's a movie about, like, people in space. Never drink your own urine. Never eat your own shit, even if they've been recycled, murmurs crew member Monty, Robert Pattinson, to the little baby in his care. It's what we call a taboo. A taboo. 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 He turns the word into a song, and the baby gurgles. These moments of connection, beautifully played by Pattinson and the baby, are all the more precious once you realize that the pair are the last ones left aboard, alive aboard a slowly falling spaceship, unromantically designed to resemble a shipping container. According to a jumbled chronology that could be reflective of time, just before the title appears over a lyrical shot of crew's bodies floating down the inky void of space, we watch Monty go about the nasty, lonely business of jettisoning his dead colleagues. Death row inmates go on a mission in space to try and extract energy out of a black hole, and then on the way, there's this witchy doctor who tries to, like, do experiments on them. She harvests semen from the men, all except the voluntarily celibate Monty, with whom Dibbs is consequently obsessed, and inseminates the women in the hope of creating life out here in the lifeless, irradiated void. But isolation and a dawning awareness of the suicidal nature of the mission, as well as a presumed predisposition towards violence, create a mood of spiraling despair and madness among the crew. This is mirrored by the jerky, discomforting pace of the film as a series of long jurs interspersed with moments of shuddering, gory violence, rape, and mechanistic masturbation in the already infamous fuckbox, a small leaky room equipped with restraints and piston-mounted dildos in which the inmates of this floating prison can relieve their sexual frustration.
What the fuck?
Yes.
Okay. That's what Robert Pattinson is up to lately?
Yes. Because he's got, like, all the money he needs to pay the bills from Twilight, so he can just go and...
He can just be in weird stuff now. It's my favorite thing ever that he hates Twilight, he hates its fans, and he hates the entire experience.
I mean, he broke up with, what's her name? Kristen Stewart, who is now gay, so, They all had fun times after that movie. So now he's starring in weird stuff like, Lost City of Z.
Wait, he was in Life?
Not that Life.
Oh. What's this Life? Oh, it's about a life photographer. Okay.
And this one.
It's weird how two movies can come out like 2 years apart with an identical title and not have like brand confusion problems. Like, I get it when you have like two Hercules movies come out or like The Jungle Book. But like, really? Just a word just like life? I guess you can't copyright a word like that, you know? Did you just open City Skylines?
No.
What is that? That's a roller coaster in a mansion. You did, didn't you?
I didn't open that.
This is a fucking roller coaster village.
Yes, it is. It's Roller Coaster Tycoon too.
Oh, okay, Roller Coaster Tycoon. You remember Thrillville?
No.
That shit was my jam back on PS2. You can make, basically, like, your nameless video game character man was the, he was like, well, he or she, I guess, since you could create the character, was
He or she or it?
He, she, or it, or she, it, was
Like
the,
you-
like the nephew
You're
or
the-
niece
you're
of
she
some,
it
like,
guy.
really famous roller coaster tycoon man who owned a amusement park called Thrillville. And he was like, hey, you want to be in charge of my roller coasters and amusement parks even though you're like 12? And you're like, yeah. So basically you just run around the park all day asking people what kind of stuff they would like, and then just like trying to manage out your budget, and then like, you know, figure out what you can get to appease people. So you know, you'd add like extra roller coasters that you get to build yourself, or you could add like places for them to eat food.
Who needs to eat food, really? Nobody.
You could even add like mini games. Like they had like all kinds of like arcade games that were really cool. That would just like turn it into like a first-person shooter game or something, where you're like fighting cowboys or some such nonsense, or getting
Who needs
chased
a cowboy anyway?
by dinosaurs. It was really neat because they
I
worked in
prefer,
a lot of
I prefer cat boys.
they worked in a lot of different styles of gameplay into a single game, just because the premise allowed for like so much. It was just really creative and charming and a cute little game. I never actually beat it. I just like, I don't know. I seem to remember always getting to like the third or fourth location where you could build amusement parks. And then I would always get like tired because it didn't seem like there was a lot of forward momentum. Like, I don't know if you can beat that game.
Can you beat that game?
Maybe I could if I tried it again today, but I don't have a PS3 since I'm in a bathroom.
Can't you ask them for one?
No, I don't think they'll think it's relevant enough.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But anyway.
Why are you coughing? Do you have like respiratory problems? Can I get you like a lozenge?
God, that would taste so good right now. All I've had is bread.
You pervert.
But anyway, yeah, so I'm still only really allowed to play that new game.
Which new game? What new game?
I can't say it.
curious.
I can't.
Is it the new Battlefield game?
Yeah, sure. Why
Call
not?
of Duty. I need to
Call of
get
Battlefield,
a better joke.
Modern Bad Company, Advanced Black Cops.
Don't you know there are no black cops? Because all cops are racist, and black people can't be racist.
I'm actually writing a comic book about a black police officer,
No, you're not.
but he's in space.
Okay, so it's fantasy.
Yeah, 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 totally. I want to sneeze, but it won't come out, and it's really fucking up my day already worse than it was.
You know what also won't come out? You.
Wolf Among Us Season 2. Oh.
You need to respond to your masculine honor because I just called you a gay.
Hey
And
man,
those can't exist.
I'm comfortable in my sexuality. I like
But
the
you
ladies.
have to be homophobic, otherwise you can't be heterosexual. That's
Well,
why I
you
hate
gotta-
gays too.
David, I feel like you're projecting a little.
Of course I am. That's what I do. That's my job.
You're a projectionist?
Yeah. I work
Like-
for the movie theater. Don't you know this?
You work... That's how you get to see so many more movies than I do.
Well, that and I have an internet connection.
I really want the music to be in the podcast now, because otherwise the people are gonna, like, think we sound fucking crazy.
Well,
Like, it's just gonna sound stupid, because, like...
have you listened to the podcast?
Okay, well, yeah, we've talked about some weird stuff before.
Mr.
Hey, you think it's
Xavier,
weird that
I am a
everyone wants
lesbian?
to fuck Venom now?
What?
Everyone wants to fuck Venom now.
Oh yeah, of course.
Venom is
that
like
gives me
the
an idea.
new monster boyfriend icon.
I mean, honestly,
Like, he
what
replaced
else
Dracula.
Did you expect? What else did you expect?
Okay, well, to be fair, his two main powers are having an extremely muscular body and tentacles that go everywhere. Also a tongue that's like a foot long and can change shape and size at his whim. He's basically just a big scary penis monster with a handsome man inside.
If they wanted to avoid having a thirst community around side your character, you shouldn't have cast Tom Hardy. Just saying.
You know what? It annoys me when they do it with Spider-Man, but whenever I see, like, cutesy fan art of Eddie Brock and Venom, and, like the suit and Eddie are doing, like, silly, weird stuff, like reenacting Calvin and Hobbes books, or fucking going to, like, the
I
movie
thought you were
theater.
gonna say fucking.
Well, no, that fan art exists too, and that's been around long before this. But like, I think the teenage girl Twitter stans who are good at drawing.
Also, Tumblr has seized on Eddie Brock too.
But yeah, both groups, which are different in slight ways.
There's a lot of overlap.
There's a lot of overlap, but they do have differences. I think both of them ended up realizing that they're in love with Venom, and for some reason it doesn't bother me in the slightest, because, like, now that means Venom is gonna just get, like, more comics and video game
You could
appearances.
say the same thing for you know, Spider-Man too.
I know. Like, there's okay, there's all of the, like, weird Tom Holland stans who just wanna who don't even care about Spider-Man. They just want to fuck Tom Holland. They just want to diddle his baby face. By the way, I cannot find Tom Holland attractive in any sense of the word. He looks like a little kid.
Well, you're also...
It's weird because I'm, like, younger than him. Like, he's older than I am, and I still look at him and go, yeah, that's a baby.
You know, I'm trying to find the right fanfiction to read.
No, we're not reading fanfiction.
What about I Want to Taste You, Eddie?
So anyway, I appreciate that there's a bunch of weird teenage girls who love Venom now, and are drawing
You gonna make me come
cutesy
anytime
fan
today,
art.
then? Not Val's Venom until you say it.
Oh, God. Why are you... Stop it.
I licked it, so it's mine.
What the fuck? Is that...
Orgy for one.
Oh my god, what?
Venom takes Eddie's body to surprise
This reminds me of my ex-girlfriend from high school. She used to have this weird-ass joke that, like, high school was, like, on prison rules, so if you want something to be yours, you have to lick it or spit on it. And then she licked me one day, and was like, you're mine now. And I'm like, you're fucking creepy.
Well, you are that creepy.
No. I haven't licked anybody.
Yes, you have.
Well, I mean, not recently.
No need to rush my pace.
Oh my god,
Carrion.
stop it. No. Wait, carrion?
Not a parasite. Eddie wakes up with a boner.
What? But anyway, Eddie Brock is fine to, like,
Airplane sex with Venom.
overly sexualize, since he's a big, buff, manly Chad, basically, and not a small child. Like, I don't know, it's just sexualizing Venom for some reason just doesn't bother me in the slightest, like it does when they sexualize Spider-Man.
Well, Spider-Man is canonically a teenager.
Well, I mean, he's like
sophomore year of high school.
Well, in the MCU, yes.
So the canonically version that all the Twitter stans are thirsting about is canonically an underage.
Like,
guy.
why not be fucking weird and creepy about the comic version who's actually 30? Like, they say his age. He's 30 now. Why not be all thirsty over him? He's fine. No? Okay. You want the little kid one? Fine. All right. Come on, Tobey Maguire's handsome.
Think about her, Eddie? Please don't, Eddie pleaded as he watched Venom's substance rise from his skin to wrap firmly around his torso, squeezing gently around his hips.
Jesus Christ.
I can be so much better.
Oh, Eddie, I can be so much better. You just have me voice act for Venom since I can actually do a pretty good job.
Yes. You want to read some fan fiction?
We've been on hiatus not doing this fucking podcast for how many weeks now, and you want us to come back with this?
Yes.
Okay, send me a link to the script. The guard is looking at me so funny right now.
Do you want to watch? Do you want to read? Do you want to read? Eddie wakes up with a boner. Venom helps.
Is that the fucking title?
No, that's the summary.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna send this to you.
Oh, why?
You know, this would be really great if I did actually keep the jazz music, because there's like really relaxing jazz music while we're reading.
Yeah, that's what. There you go. You've made the case of why we should keep it.
I've sent it to
I
you.
agree and consent to its terms. Oh God, that's
okay.
That's always something you want to see when you
you
open
ready?
a new website. Hang on.
Are you ready? I mean, audience.
I like how all of Venom's lines are in bold.
Uh-huh. Well, at least you know how to read it now.
Yeah, I won't lose my place now because it's actually really easy to tell where to read.
Uh-huh.
So hold on, the notes from the author says, "So I saw Venom yesterday, very gay, 10 out of 10. So now I have joined the ranks of the monster fuckers."
At least they're honest.
At least they're honest.
I can appreciate that level.
You neglected to tell me that the summary also has a Lenny face in it.
I'm very sorry. I apologize. 10 out of 10. Would monster fuck again?
No. Everyone's not listening to the podcast now. We didn't do a podcast for like weeks, and now we're just gonna. Oh my God.
Yes.
Wait, whose channel is this going on, by the way?
I don't know, but I think it might be yours. If it isn't, it's mine.
Well, the last one was supposed to be on mine, but then that recording got lost, I guess.
So...
Aw, shit. Shit!
You ready?
Alright, well, anyway.
You ready?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. It had been some time since Eddie last got laid. His condition over the past 6 months had not exactly been the best. He had a hard time just staying alive. And now he had a parasite.
Not a parasite.
With whom he shared not only a body, but also a mind. And for some bizarre reason, this was comforting. Comfortable. Hot. Eddie did not like admitting this, not even to himself. But what he had with Venom was something he had always craved. Someone to be there for him. Always. Maybe
you know what's funny? Is a good chunk of this is actually canon, because Eddie refers to the suit in the comics as "my love."
Maybe having Venom was a bit too literal, but Eddie was not going to complain. Not when he had this voice in his head, childish and stubborn, too insightful and compassionate, and sometimes seductive.
The music stopped and then played again right as your sentence ran. It was so perfect.
It was not something Eddie would have expected by any means, but hearing Venom say,
"You know, I can help you with that,"
in his deep voice, comfortably in the back of Eddie's mind when he woke up with a boner.
It's just such an unattractive word, boner. It's just like everything else is so elegantly written, and then you just have the word boner, and it just fucking throws it off.
Okay, sorry. In the first days of their symbiosis, Eddie had been too out of it to be anything but confused.
There's spoilers for the movie, I think.
Well, it's worth it.
Okay, are you gonna keep reading?
Eddie had been too out of it to be anything but confused, and only after the Drake disaster, their relationship, mental and physical, somewhat stabilized, and the more time passed, the better they fit together. It had been remarkable from the very start, but now they had reached a stage of being one, rather than two beings sharing a body. At least most of the time. At the thought of Venom
helping
him, Eddie could not suppress a moan. Arousal shot through him. He vaguely wondered if he should feel weird about this. But then, Venom took control of his arms and felt his tongue against his neck.
Oh, God.
Tendrils slithering around his torso down his body, and he let out a breathy whimper.
It's not weird.
Breathy, do the breathy whimper.
I don't want to do a breathy whimper on the podcast.
Do it!
I'm not doing a breathy whimper.
Do it!
I've already been kidnapped and severely beaten several times. I'm not doing a breathy whimper.
It's not weird,
Venom said.
It feels good for you and for me too. I like it.
With these words, Eddie felt his hand reach into his mouth.
Oh, God.
Venom knew what to do. He was inside of his mind.
Can I cut this off now?
He knew. Well, we're gonna read the rest of it, and then you edit however much you want to put in.
Oh, no.
We can give that another try,
Venom muttered, and somehow grinned even broader than usual.
Jesus Christ.
A slow rhythm, achingly slow, and Eddie needed more. Needed more.
You're impatient.
No shit, Eddie pressed out. A second later, he felt those tendrils on his chest.
I don't want to read more of that.
Starting to caress his pepperoni.
I don't like it.
You like it.
Venom sounded too smug for somebody who knew exactly what Eddie liked anyway. Of course I do, you useless parasite. Even as the words left his mouth, Eddie regretted having said them. His hand in Venom's tendrils left his banana. Venom materialized on top of him, pressing him into the mattress, keeping in a place with nowhere to go.
I like how he accidentally hurt his feelings.
I am not a parasite,
Venom growled. I'm sorry, Eddie panted.
If you were really sorry, you wouldn't keep saying it,
Venom countered. Oh, stop! Just, please.
Please what?
I need to come. Eddie was getting desperate. He thrust up against Venom, but there was no friction there.
Welcome to the unmonetizable video channel.
Listen, I have a video on my channel called Sex Pastries and Monsters. I know what I'm in for.
Why did you do that? Now, why would we do that?
As you should.
Thank God the guard can't hear what's going on in my fucking headphones.
But, you know.
The ambiguously gay duo.
You can keep that bit.
Oh my God.
So speaking of Tom Hardy, did you know they dug up a story that Tom Hardy put on MySpace back in the early 2000s of him saving a kitten that was about destined to die in his apartment, in his hotel room, even though he wasn't supposed to have pets in his hotel room.
How did he find the kitten?
Like, you know, just like dead on the street, like you know, abandoned on the street or whatever.
Oh. And he nursed it back to health?
Yeah.
I stand this man. He saved kittens. He actually probably pushed for Venom to be a better movie than it was going to be. Did you hear about how he had a big, like, meltdown on the set?
Well, I heard that there were some conflicts between him and the director.
At one point, he fucking just started screaming and saying that the script was garbage in one scene and demanded that they rewrite it or else he wasn't going to come out of his trailer. And that, like, he had, like, the writing team, like, redo a whole scene because he hated it so much. And, like, once it was to his specifications, he would finally come out the next day and read his lines. He also completely ad-libbed this one scene in, like, the restaurant, like, kind of near the middle of the movie. And it's actually probably one of the funniest and most memorable scenes in the movie. And he was just like, hey, what if I did this? And the director was like, well, whatever.
We're not going to put it in the movie. But
They did!
whatever. You lunatic weirdo. Why is Tom Hardy even an actor?
So Tom Hardy is now, like... I hope all of the Twitter stans get bored with Tom Holland and like Tom Hardy instead. Because Tom Holland...
Come on, there were Twitter stans
Tom Holland hates cats. He's a bitch.
Well, there were Twitter stands for Tom Hardy back before there was Twitter.
Yeah, but now there's going to be even more. Venom 2 basically confirmed at this point because the box office
Venom
for the first
2,
one,
Electric Boogaloo.
Venom 2, please get Carnage a better wig.
Why? I heard the one in the movie was fine.
No, it wasn't.
Why was it not fine?
He looked like Sideshow Bob.
What's wrong with Sideshow Bob? I love Sideshow Bob.
Sideshow Bob does not look good in live action.
But I love Sideshow Bob.
I wanted to see Venom 2.
Why not Venom 1? Are you racist or something? Is it because there's a brown guy as the villain?
Man, there was a couple of big leaps in logic in that one, and I don't think they really gel well.
Speaking of brown people, are you excited for Aladdin? Directed by Guy Ritchie?
You remember how they had a hard time doing the casting for the movie because there's no Middle Eastern people in Hollywood?
Yeah.
And, like, whenever they
funny.
are, they just get cast as fucking terrorists?
Mm-hmm.
I bet Disney learned a lot from that one.
Do you think Disney ever learns their lessons? No, they don't. This is the company that released Song of the South.
What's that?
It's like a Disney animated live action hybrid. But you know how but it's also got the whole, it's set in the South, and it plays it like, the South was a great happy time and there was no racism in the pre-war South where there was slavery. And it's very, racially weird because of that.
It tries to portray pre-Civil War Southern United States as being like a happy place.
Happy, idyllic, where you have the black man singing, "It's a Wonderful Day" and all that.
It's kind of upsetting to me how many extremely racist things Disney has done.
Yes.
And then on top of that, they'll also fire James Gunn over tweets that they knew about.
Well, this is why they're doing this.
Is they have to pretend
they have
to
that
be
history.
They have to undo that history by overreacting like crazy these days.
Well, their fan base is, like liberal white women, so of course they have to do it.
Yeah. White women are the worst.
Can confirm.
I dated one once, and it was terrible. I'm gonna cut a lot of this.
I hope so, because this is a nightmare.
Is there a joke
Are you
I should
excited for
be
Dark
making?
Phoenix?
I know. You know what? No one's excited for
I
X-Men
am.
Dark Phoenix.
I
Yeah,
am.
I was gonna do a video where I was like, hey, why is everyone so unenthusiastic and bored about X-Men Dark Phoenix? Like kind of defending it. And then I was so bored about it that I didn't even end up making that video.
I am excited about it, but I will agree with you that the first trailer is garbage. But the first trailer for all X-Men movies, is always garbage because they did do the Venom thing and they rush it out before the VFX is done.
We were
And
able to
also-
do the VFX on some telekinesis shots and no one else's powers at
Well,
all.
also, they're doing reshoots right now, or at least very least they were like last 2 months. So it's about right
They
now
didn't
when they're
say
still
if they
in.
wrapped on the
They're still
reshoots?
well like, I mean, they don't say. They don't need to tell you. The movie business prefers that you know as little as possible about how it works. They
Even
won't
though
tell you
at this
anything.
point, because of the internet, we know almost everything.
Exactly. But they won't tell you anything that they don't have to tell you.
They want to tell you the embarrassing parts. Like how they have to CGI Tom Cruise's chest to not look so grotesque.
Mm-hmm. Let's be honest. Who is surprised by that?
Do you remember that time where Paul Rubens was playing Pee Wee Herman again, and they had to get a fucking metal clip to tie his skin back at the back of his head, and then CGI it out in post?
Mm-hmm.
And it looked fucking
He
disgusting.
basically said that if he had gotten plastic surgery, he could have saved the studio $1 million. But let's be honest,
That's
it's
kinda-
Netflix. They got money going out the wazoo. They don't need to save money on a Pee Wee Herman movie that nobody's going to watch.
Netflix routinely puts out complete garbage,
And they pay a lot of money for that garbage.
and for some reason, just because of their business model, they haven't lost really hardly anything on any of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they've just kind of set themselves up as being able to just dump money into a billion worthless projects and then never have any negative consequences for it.
Basically, yeah.
So, like, there's, like, 6 really good TV shows on Netflix that are, like,
And-
originals, and then, like,
and a lot more
40
that are
others
bad.
that aren't.
That's my theory. We can talk about this later once we finish talking about X-Men Dark Phoenix, but my theory is that the streaming model is bad for movies, so that's why it's just inherent, it doesn't work with movies. So that's why there are so many bad Netflix movies. But more to the point, X-Men Dark Phoenix, this trailer is like nothing like what the movie's actually gonna be, because they're still basically editing it together, and also the VFX is probably not done, and they also moved the release date because it was originally going to be released in February. But now what they did is that they moved Alita Battle Angel out of competition with, Disney's Mary Poppins Returns, and now that Alita is going to be released in February, and Dark Phoenix is going to be released in June. And with that in case, it may be the very last X-Men movie ever made, because New Mutants is coming out in March.
They tell you in film school that the final rewrite is in the editing room.
Exactly. So
And
they're
it's weird how so many studios don't know what movie they want to make until after it's filmed, and then put a lot of pressure on editors to figure it out
So
after the fact,
basically-
even if the script was a completely fucking different thing.
Also, they're just sort of rewriting the. They're also just rewriting the. They also rewrote the ending, and that's pretty much what they reshot.
They rewrote the ending so that they go through a time portal and then go, wait, where are we now? Everything's so much more blue and gray. And then Captain
Okay, so
America
I was
goes,
having a conversation
will you help
about
us
this.
defeat the Thanos?
I was having a conversation about this with other people at school. Speaking of twist endings to things. You know what I really hate about the end? The one thing that I really hated about Deadpool 2?
The end credits scene?
The end credits. That was absolutely garbage.
Yeah.
It, bringing back Vanessa was
It ruins the
terrible
whole
idea.
movie.
And, it just ruins the tone they're going for with the rest of it. And, there's no... If you introduce the time travel thing that you can just fix, then there's no emotional consequences to anything that you're actually fucking doing. So...
And it also
What's the
ruins
point?
the whole rest of the supposed universe that they've built, because then, like...
So I basically like to pretend that scene doesn't exist.
I mean, time travel worked in Days of Future Past because it had such extreme limitations on how it could work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could only send someone's mind into their body in the past.
And that's what they had with the rest of it. They had, specific rules for the rest of it.
But if you can just fucking jump through a door and go back in time... Also, the rules of the Deadpool 2 time travel is really confusing because it doesn't make a duplicate of himself. He ends up, like, with his future knowledge re-inhabiting his older body. But then, like, how did Cable do that? Because Cable wasn't born yet.
Well, it's a different time travel system.
The same watch can do two different types of time travel.
Also, I want to read an article, if I can find it, which is, I might have read this earlier, but it's, on art, commercialism, Deadpool 2, and a culture of violence, where it basically blames, like, our cultural obsession with violence, quote-unquote, is the stuff like they have in Deadpool 2 with all the violence, and they celebrates violence and all that stuff.
Yeah?
So what do you think? Does Deadpool 2 celebrate violence?
I mean, I guess, but then so does, like, every movie that comes out now.
My answer is no. Because Deadpool 2, remember, it's literally about how violence won't solve your problems, and about how, Deadpool just, like, lashes out at everybody because he's grieving, and he just, punches people, and that doesn't solve his problems, and then the ending is literally trying to get that boy to not kill that guy.
Oh,
So
yeah,
he
you're
can
right.
become an evil murderer.
It's weird how you remember that movie better than I do.
This is because I have a memory which is a thing that you don't have.
Maybe it's because I'm a little emaciated right now because I haven't had a lot of, like, nutrients for the past 2 weeks.
Don't they give you, like, vitamin suppositories to help you out in that random weird place that you are right now?
No. They take me out into some kind of
they
really
do- they do
dark
that when
hallway
you're
and I
sleeping.
shit in a bucket.
Well, they give you suppositories when you're sleeping.
Oh, God, I hope not. Now I'm going to be really paranoid and check every morning now. I only get 3 hours of sleep anyway.
By morning, it's too late.
I have, like, a blanket and I just sleep in this bathtub.
What kind of blanket, though?
A very thin one. It kind of has, like, a lot of dog hair on it.
I keep thinking, I keep thinking about Dark Phoenix and how it's going to be, like, the last X-Men movie ever. And honestly, that kind of makes me sad. Because, like...
Oh, there's gonna be more
Well,
X-Men
like-
movies, man. They're gonna keep
Well,
making
there's-
these.
no,
It's a
no.
recognizable
No.
brand. It's the
No.
last one in this
No.
franchise.
No, there's not going to be any more X-Men movies. There's going to be movies with X-Men in them. But there's not going to be any more X-Men movies.
Well, welcome to being a Spider-Man fan.
This is why I don't want to be a Spider-Man fan, because being a Spider-Man fan sucks.
Yeah, well, now you know our pain is because we were really attached to this really well put together franchise, and then they're like, all right, let's start it over, and then you're like, all right, maybe I can find a way to love this, and then they're like, all right, let's start it over again, and you're like, okay, should I just not get attached because that's where I'm at
Do
now.
it. Don't be attached to anything.
I just do not get attached to movie franchises anymore because I know they're all extremely finite and will probably get canceled at the drop of a hat if it means that, like, they can make $3 extra.
Welcome to capitalism,
So, like,
my friend.
that's why I don't care about the Sony, like, Spider-Man universe without Spider-Man in it. I don't
What
care.
are you talking about?
Because
The
I know it's not
the-
going to last long. I'll
What are you
get
talking
2
about?
Venom movies out of it, and then I'll be happy. And then everything else will just be a shit show and not
What
go
are you
anywhere.
talking about? The Morbius movie from the director of Life is going to be so really good.
I can't wait for Jared Leto to act like a weird asshole on the set of this movie, too.
But, I mean...
It's like he
Jared-
used Joker
listen.
as an excuse to just be a prick, and then was like,
Jared
it's method
Leto
acting.
can be a good actor
He
if
can.
he's with a good director.
Ah, he was great in Blade,
Blade Runner
Runner
2049.
Yeah, Jinx. He was good in that.
But that's because he was directed by Denis Villeneuve.
was Denny. Also,
I know, I intentionally mispronounced it. Just
that's
when
my
I
joke.
fil-
I'm the one who mispronounces things
Well,
on
listen,
purpose.
film buffs always say Denis Villeneuve, so I'm gonna say Dennis Villeneuve just to annoy film buffs.
Dennis Rodman just to get it really bad.
That's great. I love it.
But anyway, he was great in that. But like, I
Man,
think
Dennis
he can be a
Rodman
good
was really
actor.
great in the Dune movie.
Remember when Dennis Rodman like committed treason or whatever?
Yes, I do actually. It was when he starred in
What's
in Space Jam.
he wasn't in Space Jam.
Yes, he was. What are you talking about?
No, that was Michael Jordan. What was Dennis
course
Rodman in? It's like more people know him for being a fucking weirdo that hangs out with like dictators than his actual acting career.
He was an actor. I think he starred opposite Dane Cook in an action movie in the early 2000s that nobody liked.
Dane Cook was in an action movie?
With Dennis Rodman.
Oh god, that sounds awful.
With, I'm pretty sure, Cybermonks.
Oh god. Dane Cook has the fucking funniest voice to me.
Who is Dane? Oh, it's called Simon Says. With an S-E-Z.
So
Simon
anyway, I was in a
S.E.Z..
movie with Dennis Rodman. You guys might know him. He's a pretty famous basketball player. And like, hello, the whole Korea thing. But like, so I was in a movie with him. And it was an action movie, and like everyone really loved it. But like,
Okay, so I'm gonna send you the poster for this movie.
Oh, God.
Because Dennis Rodman has the best just look of just complete boredom on his face.
Oh, there's
If
a
that's
picture
not a
on his
good way-
Wikipedia. It's Rodman with Donald Trump for Celebrity Apprentice. I guess Dennis has a type.
Yeah, he likes really, really fat dictators.
He likes people that look like foodstuffs.
Look at just look at
I'm
his
trying
face.
to click on this poster and it's not going. Is that Dane Cook in the background?
I'm pretty sure.
Are you
Yeah.
sure that's actually Dane Cook in this movie?
I'm sure it is.
Why would Dane Cook be in an action film? I don't believe it.
Yeah, it stars Dennis Rodman, Dane Cook.
Oh, look, there's a whole, 3 or 4 paragraphs on his Wikipedia called Legal Troubles. Rodman and his then-wife, Carmen Electra, were charged with misdemeanors after police were notified of domestic disturbance. Each posted $2,500 in bail and were released with a temporary restraining order placed on them.
He also had an affair with Madonna.
Remember Carmen
Ew.
Electra? Remember how she was, known for something at some point in, 1999?
No.
I don't remember who that was or what she did. Oh my god, look at Carmen Electra's picture on her Wikipedia page. She looks like there's something I can't put it in words. I have to just send you this picture. It looks like she's wearing someone else's face on an old lady's body.
Well, listen.
Do you see it?
What's going on?
You see it too, right? It looks like it looks like an old lady who has a 20-year-old girl's face stapled on. Her neck is all like
Plot twist, it's secretly the Joker.
her neck is all wrinkly and dark colored.
It's like one of those it's like the mask that Arnold Schwarzenegger wore in Total Recall.
Yeah, it's
2 weeks.
it's scary.
2 weeks.
Like-
2 weeks.
Why does Carmen
2
Electra
weeks.
look like that? What happened? Did
Cocaine's
she
a hell
just
of a drug.
dump her face in the Lazarus pit, but then forget to put the rest of her in there?
Why are you like this?
Brandon,
This
if
is
you're
why
in
we
the
didn't have the
comments of this
podcast for
video,
so long.
explain what a Lazarus pit is. Not the Batman one, the other one that we came up with. It's
Oh, the Lazarus Pit in Doctor Who?
No.
Where it turns you into a giant scorpion monster and also regenerates you?
Is that what happened to The Rock?
No, it's what happened to an old white British guy who invented this machine in an episode of Doctor Who.
Remember when The Rock was a big scary scorpion CGI man?
To be fair, the CGI was about as good as in that movie.
Yeah, that was one of the things that put me off on Doctor Who is that, like, I couldn't take the effects seriously because they reminded me so much of, like, Power Rangers quality.
Speaking of bad effects, did you know that the Doctor is now a woman in the Fierce episode? It came out last week.
I thought that happened, like, a year ago.
Well, they recast her a year ago, but they actually released the first episode with her, like, last
So,
week.
was it, like, 90 minutes of just jokes of the Doctor going, I used to have a penis, but now I don't?
No, but there is a joke in, like, the first scene when she doesn't realize that she's a woman yet, where it's like, ma'am, why are you here? Why are you calling me man? 'Cause you're a woman. Oh, I am. Does it suit me? What? Does it suit me?
I like
Oh,
how
sorry,
they made him
about,
a woman
like-
before they'd make him a redhead, because...
Oh, sorry, sorry, just like, because, like, 20 minutes ago, I was a white-haired Scotsman. I mean, fairly, that's a pretty good joke.
Yeah. You know, I kind of want to put together a list of all the times that a character in, like, a piece of fiction had, like, red hair and freckles, and then was recast as something else. I swear to
Karen
God, like,
Gillan was a redhead, but then she starred in Jumanji.
I swear to you.
Like, I'm so sorry for
I
her.
swear to you, Hollywood has a thing against redheads. I think they just dislike gingers. And before, I know you're gonna make your jokes of like, well, of course, everyone does.
Everybody does. They don't have souls.
There you go. Yeah, all right, get it out of your system now, so I can have the rest of this conversation with you.
I don't think that Hollywood has a thing against redheads. I just think you have a thing against Hollywood.
I swear to you, I can put together so many examples of people being recast as some other race. I think, like, there's some kind of, like, rule that they don't tell the public about, that like, producers and executives know about, where if they see a ginger character, they go, that's our free slot to recast with a minority, because it'll add to the diversity of the cast.
Well, I mean, you have a hint of an argument there, because gingers are the whitest of all people, and to replace somebody with a minority, you always go with the whitest person to replace them.
Man, first we had to go through all of that bullshit at the beginning of the last century. Now we're going through this.
You're a minority.
We don't have any representation, man.
Good.
You know,
I don't want my
ginger is
kid
like the only group of people that you can make fun of for how they look, and it's not racist at all.
Listen, I don't want my kid growing up to be a ginger.
No, but I'm serious though. Like, if you bully a kid in middle school for being a ginger, you can't get in trouble for it.
You can.
Because
I'm
he's
pretty
white.
fair.
He's white.
Well, you can get in trouble for bullying for anything, so.
Well, no one fucking did when I was in middle. I have a lot of repressed anger for like all of the people doing the soulless ginger joke when I was like 12. Like, I got so goddamn tired of that. I thought about dyeing my hair for a little while.
Do it. Do it now.
And I can't. Unless I could
Why
ask.
not?
I mean, maybe I could search around the bathroom and see if there's something in here I could use.
Do it.
I don't think they'll let me waste my time on that, though, considering we're on the clock.
Do it. Well, why are they letting you do this?
Because it equals ad revenue.
Not for... Well, yeah, for you, obviously, because you're going to be releasing this Nightmare Train Wreck. In like 2 weeks, so you take forever to edit these because you're lazy.
I think they just want the channel, and they want me to do what I have to do.
Who are they?
The guards.
Who are the guards?
I don't know.
Do you know
wear,
their names?
They wear masks.
Well, listen, if you know their names, you can seduce one of them, and then you can have sex with them, and, like, convince them to let you go. With your feminine wiles.
I'm not enough of a trap for that yet.
Well, get a comb for your hair, and then you'll be a trap.
I comb my hair every day. Well, I used to. But you always give me so much shit about not combing my hair. And I'm like, I do it like twice a day.
No, you don't.
Not now.
Exactly.
I'm worried that I'm going to wake up and find out that there's a mold growing on me from being in this bathtub. I'll start to look like Carmen Electra.
No, you will become Venom.
At least maybe then I could fight my way out of here and see the sun.
But, like, shitty Venom.
Oh, like boring Venom?
Like ginger venom.
Ginger venom is just carnage.
John Arbuckle is an incel.
I have several follow-up questions on how you came to that conclusion.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What a wonderful discussion we just had.
Is the podcast over now?
Well, I don't know. What do you think?
Hold on, let me ask. Hey, is the podcast over yet?
Because the Greasy Strangler is on Amazon.
The guard's kind of like tapping his wrist like he has a watch, even though he doesn't have a watch.
Why? What does that mean?
I think he's telling me that I have to get back to work.
Why?
Because I have to complete what I was asked to.
Why?
Because I will die if I don't.
What's the problem?
David?
Yes?
I'm scared.
Good. You should be.
Why are you doing this?
I'm not doing this. I'm just along for the ride.
Why won't you help me?
Well, for one, because I'm 1,000 miles away.
Why can't you tell anyone to help me?
Do you think anybody would believe me that you're being kidnapped and being forced to make YouTube videos?
Somebody would.
I don't think so.
Please, anyone out there. Help me.